Okay, so we've seen the final Star Wars movie.
Yes.
What's you guys' opinions?
Loved it.
It was way better than the last one.
It was much better. Much better.
Rose was tiny in it.
What did you
Yes,
think?
it was excellent. Enjoyed it very much.
It's me, Bill, my mom, and Josh. And I think it had some pacing issues. They kind of jumped a little bit too much into it. But I think they could cannibalize the seventh or the eighth film and take some of those scenes from that and just, I have two good films.
Yeah, about half an hour of it.
Yeah, just kind of take some of those scenes, move into it, and it'll ease into it because every movie needs to kind of start off slow. This movie kind of just jumped into it though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't mind
super
it so
fast at
much
the
because I
beginning.
Yeah.
really think they were trying to get you past the last movie. Like, you kind of remember it. Now let's get past it.
A lot of people were complaining online about how it has too many callbacks to the older movies. It's like it's in the same universe. They're gonna
Right.
have once
It's
you've explored so many
right.
things,
See,
you're
I,
gonna
li-
have.
I like that kind of thing. Where
Yeah.
they recall.
Disney trying to cash in on that nostalgia as well.
Yeah,
If they're smart
exactly.
about it.
Yeah, but at the same right, make us the movie that we want to see. Don't make us episode 8.
Yes.
I plan on seeing it again.
I'll probably see it again. I saw the first one, the seventh one 10 times, the 8th one time, and this one probably 3 times. Want to go again?
Oh, I would definitely see this.
Okay.
again,
I will
yeah.
see it again.
Okay, let's go again.
Yeah, I'll see it one more time.
Not tonight, maybe, but
No, not
yeah.
tonight.
No.
So I think it's in this group at least, it's a very good movie. Very good. Like they
And
wrote
it-
themselves into a corner, and then they wrote themselves out of the corner as best they could.
And
I
had a
give it
good
a solid
ending.
B plus.
It had a good ending.
I'll give it an S3.
What is that?
Satisfactory.
Will you give it a triangle?
I'll give it a triangle.
Okay,
Two
cool.
Nicks and half a patty whack.
Ooh, cantina.
Now that I'm home, I'm able to actually compile my thoughts on this movie better. One thing that I really liked about this movie, which might be like a spoiler section, is there was a lot less of Rose Tico. Episode 8 was a train wreck, and I hated Rose. And this movie, every time Rose would try to be like, "Oh, I'll come with you," and someone else would be like, "No, you stay here. We can't have you in the story." So I thought that was great. The character motives seem better in many ways. Now, granted, they still do have to work around that train wreck where they painted themselves in a corner, but they do it in a very good way, and I think that they did it as good as they could, given where they had to start this movie from, with writing themselves into a train wreck, a dumpster fire of a corner. This disaster repair or rescue of this series is almost as good as the disaster response to Final Fantasy XIV 1.0. It's just, I'm feeling better about the series. Episode 8 really shook my confidence, but this one, it's allowed me to like Star Wars and feel like it's actually worth investing my time into caring about the future of the series. Near the end, with the Emperor, I get Warhammer 40k vibes because of his life support system. It's really cool. Needs better pacing. Episode 8 was just a kind of movie where you could fall asleep in. And this is the kind of movie where you have a hard time following along sometimes. Once you're about a half hour in, you can keep up with the pace. But sometimes it's difficult because it starts fast and it just keeps going. And they need to give it some time to breathe. But I really like that they actually had more action. And lastly, this movie is getting a lot of hate, which I think is left over from episode 8. I think that we can mostly forget episode 8, cut it down into like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and just tack that onto the beginning of this movie, and that will provide the slow ramp up in pacing to this movie. Because That movie was so damn slow, and I didn't know what they were doing. And this movie is a bit fast. It would be perfect just to take episode 8, crunch it down, and put it in the beginning. It'll work fine. I always get out of breath when I'm talking to the camera. After all this, like this decade of doing YouTube videos, I still have a hard time remembering to breathe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching. See ya. I'm gonna go to sleep.